So, I rarely ever do this, and I've been wanting to start kind of logging. Okay. Yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do for years. Or not years, but yes, for years I've been wanting to do this, but I've not done it. Alright, so here's how I work this out. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Almost. And it's the 1st of November, and my intention right now, as I brew half a pot of coffee, is to take the next couple years of my life to do what I'm going to call sort of a video diary or whatever. And I'm, not shaving. I need to shave. But today is the 1st of November, and I need to be in Darien. And so all of these files, I got stuff to do on them. And some of them need requests for counsel. And so that's what I'm doing here, request for defense attorney, because we've got hearings scheduled. Like this dude, I won't go into the specifics, but this one is scheduled for 17 November, right? So as you can see, the way I got this going and is that, all right, so I was home on the 30th, right, of October, and then I forgot that I was supposed to take Nathan to school because I was worried about this stack of files that needed to be done because the next day, because we got drill here. So anyway, so I didn't do that, so I crossed that off so that I don't put in leave for that day. Anyway, I've got to work out in Darien on these 2 days, and then when I come back on Thursday, I work here in the office. I'm going to take Nathan to school in the morning, and then after school, after this is 7:30 in the morning. So I'm going to take him to school, work here all day, and then when I'm done, I'm going to be going to the theater. And each night, I got a conflict. On Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we've got drill. But I've worked a lot of the weekends, and so I'm hoping, and that's what I need to work on before I hit the road today to go to Darien, which means I'm going to get there probably around maybe like 9, because if I can finish everything before I hit the road, then I can just be making phone calls while I'm driving, early in the morning, rather than, fighting with sleep, fighting with all that stuff. So anyway, I have to ask them, because of all the work that I've done between, let me see, drill was, I don't have my October calendar up here anymore. Anyway, I got my October calendar. Okay, so October we had drill on the 5th. This is October 2016. So we had drill, right? So I had a concert in Milwaukee to do Friday Fire, and then drill was that day. We had an APFT, and that was my anniversary. So I said my wife picked some flowers, stuff like that. Drill was on Sunday. Then I worked at Fort McCoy, took Nathan to school in the morning, worked at Fort McCoy, worked at Fort McCoy, drove to Illinois, and I worked in Darien on this day, worked in Darien on Sunday, worked in Darien on Monday, right? Leave military for 10 hours because this is the day that I'm supposed to be at the 88th. Then I came up and I worked, let me see, I don't think I did. Did I do nope, I didn't even do LA for 2 hours that day. So I gotta cross that off. did I do it that day? I don't think I did. So anyway, but I'll be able to work that out. But anyway, the 26th, how did I do it? I worked the full day here. And then on this day, this day, early in the morning and late at night, I did transcribing on a board that we got to have ready for this coming drill. So then this day, I worked out in Darien, so I pushed, and that one, yes, let me scratch that off. Where's my pen at? Here we go. Because I already submitted this pay period. So this, I didn't do. So I worked the full day here. And then this particular day, it was LA, but actually it's LM, because I put in a 1380. Early morning and late evening transcripts. So I got the transcripts done or I worked on them because it takes a while to do those. And then I was out in Darien, and then I also worked in Darien. That day, and I also, it wasn't noon though, I also drove to Matson for a meeting, and then I drove home. The intention was for me to be home that day, but because they cut my orders, they cut me some orders that was 26, 27, 28, I put in an amendment request to make it 27, 28, 29 because I could work on the 29th, which I did. And so the 26th, instead of me, because I worked, because I didn't, that day I had to, me and Chief, we went to, what was it? We went to Sam's Club. Sam's Club, and Nathan dealt with to Amiri. So this day, I did personal stuff through the middle of the day, where Chief, Hale and I, we went to Sam's Club, and then we also went to, and then I took Nathan and took him to the CYSS. So early in the morning and late in the evening, I worked on transcript stuff, and I can do that either at my desk at home, or I can do it at my desk here, or wherever. Because it's a matter of putting the headphones on and typing out what I'm listening to, summarize transcript. So then I moved the orders here. So this is leave military, and I'm off on Fridays. So leave military on these two. This is a 1380. These is an orders that will be certified because it has these 3 days. Blah. So anyway, then on I drove home. I got home in the early morning. So on the 30th. During the day, I did the theater, so I took Nathan with me, and he had Nathaniel, blah, blah, blah. And then Monday, which was yesterday, I worked at the 88th. I got this. And that's what this is. So voila. So the way that my month is looking so far is I'm going to take Nathan to school in the morning, and then work at Fort McCoy, and then right after work, I'm taking Thursday this off. So this pay period, I need to put my paperwork together. They gave me my start date for, my start date to start my MOB is December 1st. Now, what that's gonna mean is that tonight, before I leave, I want to create, I plan to create my time cards. And the reason why it's like, okay, so basically, earlier, I hope I'm doing this right. So earlier when I was, Let me see, maybe I'll just put this up like this. Earlier, my calendar or my schedule over the numerous months was basically like what you saw in the calendar. It gets a little bit nuts where I'm going here and there, back and forth, whatever. So what I decided that I was gonna do is kind of log some video about it, so that way it sort of chronicles, because from the standpoint of my life, it is a little bit crazy. And I think the only person that this will really benefit is probably me and some of the music I'm writing. That's probably what it'll benefit the most. I don't know if this will really be valuable to anybody else other than really me. I mean, who really cares about my work schedule? But I want to begin broadcasting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like my jobs. I thank God for my jobs. But the workload is heavy on one side. And I'm not angry about it. I'm blessed because of it. Because, all the work that I'm doing, I'm able to put in, pay for it. So it's not like I'm just working amiss. But the point is, and this is what I was getting to in terms of why I need to make sure before I hit the road, I get some of this stuff done. And it's because I got in trouble because they said, hey, Matt, you need to submit your request to be off in advance of the day of duty. And so sometimes life and the amount of work that's going on, sometimes that is heavier, which means I might not have the energy to do all the kind of making sure my pay gets straight. You see what I'm saying? So like some of the days in October, that all the days I did in October since drill and before drill, I still have to submit for pay for that. And so I want to make sure that I do that before I hit the road, because then that stuff can be processed, and it will position me to not only be able to pay the rent, but also it'll position me to be in compliance with the counseling session that they gave me. And the counseling session, part of it I think was unfair to me, but at the same time, part of it was fair. So the part of it that was fair was that's the part that helps me be organized, but also it helps me value my time and value my family's time, which is by forecasting out and saying, you know what, here's what's going on for the next 2, 3, 4 months. And so before I leave, I'm going to have in my email for my bosses, this is what November looks like. Even if it changes, at least they got the documents that, says this is what the week is look like. And what that also means is that I can schedule in a couple of days off, because I need it. You know what I'm saying? I do need a couple of days off, and I'm gonna finally schedule in a couple of days off for this month, so that I can make it work. And so the month of November, my intention was that in the month of October that I would have my podcast out, because see, here's the deal. I'm working my job at the 416th. I'm also working my job here at the 88th. And then I have a music company that I am developing, and I've been doing a lot of work. It's been pretty busy, and I thank God for what has materialized. And so in terms of this month, I may be in a position over the next few weeks to finally have my music out there. And so, it deserves a podcast. My music deserves to have a good platform. But at the same time, the platform, there's other rappers that I'm working with and helping to get their music together and get it out there. So things are starting to come together in a lot more ways than I can express right now, maybe while I'm driving. But anyway, I'm about to get to work. So right now, it's I needed to take a few minutes just to really, to put this together. So right now, this is the 1st of November, and my intention is that no less than once a week, I will spend a few minutes. If I can do more, I'm definitely going to do more. And matter of fact, I probably should do it once a day. I should do it once a day, and in that way, it'll make it easy, because it'll make it better if I do it once a day. And so somehow I'll figure out how to do that. So there we go. Okay, the way this is gonna work is okay, 30th, blah. Okay, Monday I was at work and I did not do that. Tuesday and Wednesday I'm on orders for those days. Thursday I decided to do LA because I'm gonna drive back in the middle of the night, take Nathan to school, and then I just need to sleep and collect myself. And if I can work it out, I want to get the podcast episodes done. And then drill is supposed to be here, but while I'm here, I'm going to ask them, please let me be off, because I got to do stuff out in Wisconsin. Then I'm going to work these 3 days, and then on this day, and I can leave after work, but on this day, I'm driving to Chicago, because I got to pick up the camera, maybe picking up Sandra, and then I'm gonna pick up, try to load up my van with stuff from Tori. So I'm gonna see if Pastor Eldridge needs the truck and stuff like that. Then I will be coming back. This I think is just canceled with Hecht, because I think it's a different day. I just gotta look at what day it is. But then Milwaukee, this is theater night, Milwaukee theater, and then I come back, we'll do ISR. So I need to get ISR done here. And then whatever boards, I think there's some board scheduled for this day, but we're gonna, anyway, I submitted all my requests. I submitted my requests for these 2 days, for this day off and this day off. So these 2 days I'll actually be off work. So that's 40 hours of not being at work.